It's early in the day and I'm live. So here we go. This is, I guess, in a way, I'll let my kitty cat do his grooming. The start something new, for me anyway. So I went through a lot of soul searching and how I was going to be doing some videos going on forward from this. And I'll explain that in a little bit. What we're going to talk about today, one of the big things we're going to talk about is the company Indicator, by Powerhouse. They do some amazing work. They're a UK company, and I've got a small but nice collection of some indicator stuff that I'm going to go through. We're going to talk about the company as a whole, and I'm going to get your thoughts on it. So basically, this is a new day, a new start for me. I'm looking into going to school, going back to schooling. So and my job recently had hey, morning, Murdersville. My job recently, we've had it's February, and it's the time of year when work isn't so plentiful at the place where I'm at right now. So there were layoffs, and I was among those. It happens. So buying the word I'm trying to get. So buying, we'll go willy-nilly. There is going to be a little bit harder for me. It's going to be a lot harder for me for a little bit. Though one thing I do have coming up is a birthday. My birthday is March the 31st, and it got me to thinking. And it got me to thinking about Indicator. Why Indicator? Because as I show you my collection, I think I should go to the collection first. We'll start talking Indicator stuff. Murdersville, you know the Indicator stuff. I'm sure you do. But we'll go into the Indicator releases I got. Hey, Petey, how's it going? It's that you can buy true crime TV movies from. I don't buy a lot of true crime stuff. I'm sure my mom probably could, actually. She loves true crime. It happens. The way I see it, Murdersville, is that, hey, Miss Singh, how's it going? Is that everything happens for a reason, and this is just the next step in whatever the journey's going. You have a few. I'm sure you got more than a few. But true crime stuff, I'm not quite sure. Maybe who sells that? What company puts a lot of that out? Who puts out those not Uwe Boll, but the other guy, the guy that did Boogeyman. He did a bunch of the true crime stuff things. I'm not sure if they were good, but I did a bunch of them. Anyway, Indicator. Got a lot of movies coming soon. I wish I did. I have no movies coming until probably my birthday. That's my next one. Oh, here's March 29th. You're in Aries as well. The Ram. You are the head, like me, the head of the astrological symbols. And growing up, my mom was really into astrology, so I learned a lot about that. So here we go. There's 2 regular releases, then we're going to get into box sets. So first off, one that I got on my last birthday from Indicator was this one right. Well, not from Indicator, from Hind, is Happy Birthday to Me. Now, this is a Canucksploitation slasher film. As you guys know, I'm both Canadian and a huge, huge, huge fan of the slasher genre. And this is a favorite of mine, actually. So I was really surprised to see Indicator. Hey, kitty. Oh, I went to pet him, and it's like I got static electricity on him. I was really surprised the Indicator put this out, and to do such a good release, because Mill Creek had put this out before. It was an okay release. There was it didn't have the right soundtrack. Somewhere along the way, the soundtrack to Happy Birthday to Me was changed to a completely different soundtrack. So if you get the Mill Creek release of this movie, you don't have the right soundtrack. Can't beat the classics, Petey. Cannot beat the classics. And you are adorable. But But it was like, it had the wrong soundtrack. Hey, hey, Scooter, how's it going? We're talking Indicator today. It had the wrong soundtrack. There were no features. Picture was good. It was decent, but it wasn't great. Exactly. They've really stepped it up. Their game's has gotten incredibly good. This was one of their original releases. You're going to notice that the earlier releases of Indicator have a Blu-ray and a DVD. Basically, it's a combo pack. The newer releases don't. Usually, they just have the Blu-ray. They've moved away from doing the combos. They started doing like Criterion used to do. How can you hate the company, Scalder? This is an amazing company. They do amazing stuff. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Hopefully, you don't have any technical issues today. So, the director, this was a really good movie, actually. If you've never seen this film, why have you not seen this film? Because this is a slasher classic. Glenn Ford actually has a small part of this. My dad, here's a little bit of trivia from, like, personal trivia. My dad is named after the actor Glenn Ford. And this is like not really a big change. It just has, you can see that there's the UK symbol out there, and this is like an unaltered like artwork. But I really like. Do I click Brian Dennehy? I like Brian Dennehy. I don't say I collect him like in particular, not on purpose, but I do have like a lot of movies that I like bestseller and stuff like that I do like that he's in. Which unfortunately also stars James Woods, who I used to like, but then I found Twitter, and unfortunately I don't like James Woods anymore. But I still watch some of his movies. All right. So, did I put this in right? Nope. Okay, so I can make sure I get it right. I love you, kitty. You're silly, though. Haven't seen To Catch a Killer. A long time ago, if it's what I'm thinking of. What am I doing wrong here? I'm doing something wrong here right now, and it's bugging me. Because basically what's happening right now, so you guys can know, this is the magic of live, is that I put this in wrong. There we go. And it was like kept coming open. It was driving me at the wall. So happy birthday to me. I'll fix it later. Next up is I'm not switching these covers anymore. I saw the new Chucky movie trailer. Meh, I'll watch it, but it's not Chucky. Oh, nice. So you got it for a good price. My favorite true crime serial killer film? I really don't know. I remember like Deliberate Stranger back. Oh, thanks. Oh, there we go. I actually do remember Deliberate Stranger with Mark Harmon. That one I remember. But Brian Dennehy played like, what's his name? Gacy once too. I kind of remember those. I don't really like search out like true crime stuff. Like I'll see it on TV and stuff like that. But you need to upgrade, Mark. It's a good one. They got the wrong soundtrack on the Mill Creek edition. Oh, it also has features and a huge booklet. Audio commentary of what the stereo container is actually really, really good. Next up is Torture Garden. Now this is one that I recommend. Any three favorite labels? See, I don't find that them this expensive. £14.99 usually for a regular one, right? So that's over here. That's like $26, $28. If I go to buy a Criterion film on a and like if I go to a store to buy a Criterion movie, that can often cost me in the 30s, sometimes in the 40 range. Hey, Nordic Nord. We're talking Indicator. So actually they're considering this work that they put into the stuff, the booklets that are there. Hey James, how's it going? Is a big Glenn Ford fan? Oh. I've always liked Glenn Ford. There's actually a few movies in particular. I'll actually tell you what, I might do a video on Glenn Ford one of these days because there is that connection between my dad after being named at him, and there's a few movies that I really like, that like good, like kind of like westerns and film noir stuff that Ford did that really stands out. I should do some actor specific videos down the road. This is Indicator Powerhouse. They are a UK company. Often their releases are region free. So, no kitty. Like for instance, this release of Happy Birthday to Me. This is a region free release, as you can see right there. Torture Garden is actually one of my favorite, like, of the Amicus anthologies. It stands up a lot better than other ones. I think it really stands up better than things like I love what's it called, the oh my god, I was totally going. I'm not used to doing ones this early in the day. The House of Drip Blood, like it, but it has the weakest. House of Drip Blood got to have the weakest wraparound of any of the anthologies that Amicus did. This has probably one of their strongest wraparounds. Dr. Terror, I still think, has the strongest wraparound of anything of any of the Amicus like anthologies, or what's it called, them portmanteaus that were put out. But this is a great release. And what makes this one like extra special is I'm going to read off a couple of the things here because I think that it's worth. So there's two cuts of the film here. We get the 93-minute theatrical version and an extended 100-minute TV cut of the film. What I find amazing, and this is one of the things that has been pretty specific to Indicator, and it's one of the reasons I keep like really getting into the releases, is the Guardian interviews that they do. So the Guardian interview done back in 1995 runs 77 minutes long, and it's an interview with Freddie Francis by Alan Jones. I love these. There's a just a production supervisor, just a little 5-minute interview. Ramsey Campbell talking about Robert Bloch is on here. Oh, dude, own Torture Garden. It's a good one. You've had some issues with your internet, Mark, recently. Just if it starts to run slow, or if it starts to like kind of cut out, or you can't like comment, just try to like reboot it. That's what I've had to do sometimes when I've been on other people's streams. Fiona Sabatsky, talks about Milton Sabatsky. Basically, that's his daughter. Kim Newman does the 25-minute appreciation on the Torture Garden. There's a 36-page booklet. Every one of their releases. This is Indicator by Powerhouse. You can actually find their stuff on Amazon UK and on their own site as well. I'm a big fan of their stuff. Their booklets are usually really big. Regular releases get around a 36 to 40-page booklet on average. You have to get the limited edition. Once the limited edition sells out, then they'll put out a standard edition of it, sans the booklet. So the only thing you're going to be missing, like if you get the standard edition, you're going to get all the bells and whistles that are on the disc, but you're going to miss the booklet. Now, if you wonder if it's worth it to grab the booklet, I'll open it up here and I'll show you. So this is from Torture Garden. As you can see, it's well done, easy to read. It's big enough that it's not gonna be hard for anybody to read. There are some great backstage photos usually in these booklets, and they do a great job. They put out the whole cast and crew. They'll do things basically showing you the original poster of the film. They'll talk about they'll interview certain people, and one of the big things that they do is also sometimes go into how the movie was seen before, right? How people had seen the movie previously. As you can see, this one has only the Blu-ray. It doesn't have the Blu-ray DVD like the first one I showed you. And this is the alternate artwork. So they usually have alternate artwork for all their films as well. So there you go. This is the new art for Torture Garden. As you see, alternate artwork is actually very, very different. A very kind of a scary looking Burgess Meredith there. So as much as I love their releases, these are the only two actual single releases I got. Now, does that mean that's the only Indicator releases I got? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, I've got quite a few more. So I'm going to take the Ned the Demon thing off so you can actually see it. But this is what I call the release of last year. This was what I thought was the release that everybody had to own last year. This is the big one. This is the Night of the Demon release that Indicator put out. It is one of the most incredibly researched, well done, restored releases that you're going to see come out, especially for a single solitary film. They have recently done another release like this for Dennis Hopper's The Last Movie, which I do really want to own, since I'm a huge fan of Dennis Hopper, and I'm a big fan of The Last Movie, actually. If you've never seen it, it really is worth like looking into. And just the behind the scenes with that movie too, has some incredible stuff. Anytime, any behind the scenes with the Dennis Hopper film, you can be pretty sure it's going to be pretty good. So how did this one work out? They did this one a little bit differently. The box there, that's the special features. So I won't definitely go into everything that's there, but just to give you an idea, there are, I think there's like 4 different cuts of the film. We have the US reissue version, the pre-release version. We've got the original UK theatrical cut and the US theatrical cut as well. There are like there's a whole section here called appreciations, basically, and it goes from everybody from like from Scott McQueen to Ken Adam, to having like Chris Fujiwara, who talking about like Jacques Tourneau. Of course, he wrote a book on him. Kim Newman is on this one. Ramsey Campbell. There's a whole bunch of people like giving their thoughts and their dissertations on aspects of the film. I think your messages are showing up, but I haven't seen any messages because my head has been behind here. So I do apologize. If you don't mind rewriting them, I'll see them. Yes, it strikes when you least expect it. I am trying to actually get a schedule on. It's the one thing that my better half wants me to do. She says, your channel will work better and it'll get more people if you do a schedule. Maybe she's right. I haven't had the chance to do that yet, but I got a bit more free time. So maybe that'll happen in the near future. I did try to do a schedule where it's going to be, at least you knew that a Saturday was going to get you a new show. But recently I've had to do some work Saturdays. I've been gone. So, just to let you guys know, next week I'm gone for like 3 days to go visit my kids. But definitely, if you've not seen this release, and we're not talking about like a 30-page booklet, this is like an 80-page book here. And when it's at 80 pages, I'm sorry, it's a book. It's no longer a booklet. Just some really, really great stuff. They got some great writing, some great pictures, full color. And the people that they have like doing the writing for this stuff has been pretty incredible as well. Like, yeah, anyone from like Kat Ellinger does a lot of stuff for that company. And anytime you can read or listen to Kat Ellinger, it's a special day. It's a good day. This one, of course, included one other thing that I think is a super must-have. Oh, are you going to Compton Gardens? Oh, Hardcore is a great movie. Hey, Hen, ready? If you go to FOP in Compton Gardens, they have a great selection of films there. That's where I used to shop at when I was in London. I bought like a lot of stuff from Compton Gardens. So I'm assuming that's where you're going in London, because that's the one I remember. It's the big one I remember there anyway. You have this set coming. This is an amazing set, I'm ready. I actually told you this, I'm not sure if you saw the video or not, but I put this up as the set of 2018. Hey, Carlos, yeah, that's what happens when you get laid off. You get to do early stuff. But yeah, so this is the set of 2018. And see, it's a really good one. I mean, like, I haven't been able to look at all of it. There's just such a wealth of stuff, Carlos, in this set here. And there's a wealth of like stuff in this release, and that's the case has been with a lot of their stuff. Hey, Javid, how's it going? Today we're talking about Indicator Powerhouse. All right, so I put those in the wrong piles. So let's start with some of their first box sets. Now, the thing that made me, hey, Cubicular, fall in love with Indicator, and in my opinion, you picked up your first Indicator release. What was it, Javid? In my opinion, if it's I'm not sure if this was available or not, but if it was available, and you're a fan of these films and of this filmmaker, this is the way to have these films. Like, bar none, I would say this is the definitive way to have any films that I show you. This is the definitive way to have these. Yeah, the hammer boxes are amazing. So this is next up is the Sinbad trilogy. That's the very first box set. Oh, you picked up Night the Demon. Nice. I hope you like it, because that was my pick for the 2018 release of the year. Cash on Demand's a fantastic film with Peter Cushing. People, like, they hear the name and they just don't pick up on it sometimes. But once they watch it, they tend to fall in love with it. That tends to be one of those ones. So this is the Sinbad trilogy. You have all three of the Ray Harryhausen Sinbad films in there. All the good ones. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Yes, they are actually region free. Movie Math. That's one of the good things about Indicator is most of their stuff, if not all of their things, are region free. You can see that this Night of the Demon release right here, which I do recommend anybody that doesn't have it. This is a great release. It is a region free release. So stop doing this. You're gonna get yourself sick. No. I'll come to Garden. Oh man, are you serious? I love that place. It's my second favorite place in the world when it comes to movies. Torture Vision, even if you don't have a region-free player, Indicators, a lot of theirs are region-free. And you can hit me up anytime. That's the cat, right? He was like, I took off some plastic off of some films earlier on in the week. He was trying to eat at it, so I was trying to stop him from getting sick. Harryhausen was amazing with effects, and Indicator's amazing with these releases. Just look at the covers. I'm going to show you the covers for the Sinbad releases, and just look at the incredible artwork that is done on these releases. These are the type of things that you're proud to show somebody in your collection. If you want to say, well, what's something you can show somebody and actually be super proud to show them? Any Indicator release. You can never go wrong with the Indicator stuff. They just do incredible work. See, this is when poster art meant something. I'm not sure if these had. Yeah, these have alternate artwork, but after the last one, I'm not going to get it out right now. This is, of course, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. My better half was a huge Sinbad fan, but she realized she had not seen this movie. So when we watched this, and this was her first time seeing it. Now, this one was put out by, I think, by Twilight Time as well. Yeah, I know. Cats tend to do that. My cats especially. Of course, this is a Harryhausen right here. Great stuff on here. I think that's Cal Monroe and there's Patrick Wayne, right? Patrick Wayne was in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, I think. We got to remember the Sinbads. But yeah, I think it was Patrick Wayne in the Eye of the Tiger. What's really neat is that all of the box sets, especially, The Passenger is a fantastic film. I got to get that one. Oh man, I would love to meet Ray Harryhausen. I actually had the chance to, but I missed out on it. It was during the book, that Ray Harryhausen book. The committee was going around doing a tour. It was at our local chapters. Last movie, Action Jackman, is just one that I mentioned earlier. That's the one that I desperately want. It's a fantastic film by Dennis Hopper. It's going to be on my wish list. When I give my birthday wish list to Hind, the last movie's on there, and it's as are a couple others, which I'm going to mention at the end of the video. This one is 2074. I love the fact that these wraparounds have the Hammer box sets. Recommend them. This is the first one. Let's see. Yep. So next up is the first Ray Harryhausen collection. After the Sinbad ones came out, they put out the Ray Harryhausen Volume 1 from 1955 to 1960. And these are really good to dive into. The features, this is all features, guys. So there's everything from commentaries to appreciations to like kind of like 8mm versions of films, you know, that type of thing. Just incredible stuff. And as I always, when it comes to this, I like to pull it out and look at the artwork. So the Three Worlds of Gulliver, Jason and the Argonauts is fantastic. That was one of my favorites. And it sticks with you. That the scene with the skeletons always sticks with everybody. Of course, there's the 20 Million Miles to Earth. And as you just mentioned, no, you didn't mention actually, it came from Beneath the Sea. I love the cover for this one. This has an incredible cover. They haven't yet announced any more Hammer sets. The last box sets that they did were the William Castles, and I was really surprised with how quickly one came out after the next one. That was a huge surprise. It seemed like one William Castle set had been announced and came out, and then just the other one was just there, just like right away. As you can see, there's like another 80-page book. You have some great stuff. I mean, like Jesse, I recommend it if you haven't picked them up yet. Definitely recommend it. Actually, I saw that video. Oh, itchy. And this is volume 2 from 1961 to 1964. Okay, hold on a second. I just got a weird response from somebody on here. That, oh, Brian, I am in love with this indicator stuff. Indicator is definitely right up there. When it comes to like regular like style releases of the stuff that they do, Indicator is high on my list of companies. I'm actually thinking I'm going to ask my better half to make it a kind of an Indicator birthday. I'm only 2 to 3 releases away from having a complete Indicator box set collection. They've really stepped up their game. It's neck and neck between them and Arrow when it comes to box sets. I'm not going to lie to you there. And sometimes I'll be honest, Indicator wins. Second Sight has made it up there too. I got to get that release of When a Stranger Calls. So this is like the artwork that they put on their stuff is incredible. And it's always a treat to see the artwork on the Blu-rays for these. So look, this is Mysterious Island. Other box sets are amazingly top-notch. Yeah, Arrow does have like a flash. Arrow kind of peeves some people. I love Arrow. I hate Cellulite. Big Heat. Is that outprint from Indicator? Did Indicator put that out? Because I really like that film. Don did it. Oh yeah. Jason and the Argonauts. Love this movie. This is one I grew up with. This is part of my childhood. And there's First Men in the Moon. Vinegar Syndrome is a special studio to me because of what it does. I go back and forth between like top. I'm known for Vinegar Syndrome. It's my channel is very Vinegar Syndrome heavy because I like a lot of the Z grade, kind of the cheesy stuff. But that being said, Severin has also put out a lot of that stuff recently. So I love Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I love the Severin stuff. When it comes to the box sets, I don't think I want to miss an Indicator box set. And the thing is that's the difference. I am the Vincent guy, actually. Brian knows that. For like a box set, this is the best company for box sets for me so far. Blue Underground does some amazing stuff too. But they're getting back there. Blue Underground went... You've had an interesting journey, Cubic Lover. I'm just going to say you had some interest that I'm very jealous of. So altogether, those were all the stuff that they put out for Harryhausen. There were these 2 Harryhausen box sets, which I'm sure Brian has, And of course, there was the original box set that started it all, which is the Sinbad box set, which everybody should own. It's just really, really good. Now, after Argonauts is amazing. Argonauts is like every kid's, like, you do have all their box sets, man. You're right up to the William Castle Volume 2. If you've got the last movie, then you got all their box sets. The last movie, I think, is the latest kind of box sets they did, kind of like Night of the Demons. That's one that I got to get. The last movie is like one that I'm actually really excited to pick up. That's you know what this is. That's up. I don't think you've done a video on that if you haven't. So this is the first Hammer set. You found the website? Now, I loved this cover, like, just out of the gate. I just love the cover of their boxes. I love the fact that it's like, I think was it Severin, I think? Or Synapse. One of the companies did, like, I think it might have been Severin. They did, like, these slip covers with, when you took them off, it was, like, just unadulterated artwork. Target again, Little People. That would actually be a really good one. Now, these here are different. These have 4 films in them. Like, you notice that when it comes to the Harryhausen box sets. Oh, CMS saying, yeah, well, thanks for coming in, man. Yeah, actually, I've got like the old DVD copy of that, and that's one that I really want to upgrade. I do recommend, if you're a film connoisseur, and I don't mean that in a snobby way, I mean that as like, if you study film, then make sure that you pick up Blue Collar. That's one that I got to grab as well. It's by Paul Schrader, of course, Taxi Driver. He's done like a lot of really good stuff, and obviously, but he does a kind of like an interview, almost like a workshop for apparently for filmmaking on that disc that you can listen to as a commentary, and I'm actually very excited to check that out. Hey, physical media for life. That's right. So in these are slightly different. This is Maniac. This is actually a really good movie. Kern Matthews is so underrated, man. But this was the first one I watched out of all the Hammer box sets I had. Now the Hammer ones, rather than have an 80-page book in it, they go even better. They each get their own books. So usually around like 25 to 40 pages. Dude, you have met some awesome people. You did like film school, right? These are actually watching one of my earlier Hammer videos. Hope it wasn't too bad. I apologize if it was. Now the indicator ones, they have like a. What's really good about the stuff that they do is that their Hammer stuff, it runs the gamut. You sound like you could have went to film school. You seem like a film school guy. You know your stuff. I don't say that lightly. Which cat people? Because, there's the original cat people and then there's the 80s cat people. I personally like them both. Screenplays. Let me know if you write anything, man. I'm also a script writer. Maybe you want to check it. This is the Gorgon. This is actually kind of a fun one. In this one, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are in it, and the no, away from that. And they're not exactly adversaries. Maniac is such a fun film. I thought I was going to be Jesse. I really thought I was going to be disappointed with the William Castle box set. As you know, I'm not sure, you probably do know, I did a video around, was it before Christmas? Before Halloween. Because I wanted to see, this isn't one. The Maniac, one with Steph Powers is The Fanatic. She did a couple for Hammer, I think, but The Fanatic is the one that I remember. It's called Die, Die, My Darlings, the North American title for it. I'll actually tell you what, I'll get we'll be getting to the William Castle box set. I'll give you I haven't forgot it. I will give you my opinion on that. She is gorgeous. She's gorgeous at heart to heart too, though. She aged very, very well. Now, again, fun one. If you love Amicus, you're gonna love this. And this is like, look at how fun and cheesy this looks. There's no gigantic mummy this size in this movie. Just gonna say, but it doesn't matter. It just looks awesome anyway. And I love the taglines, like the maniac stalks his wife, his daughter, their lover. And just, this one here had Tallulah Bankhead, one of her last roles, I think. Yeah, I'm not for the plastic surgery. I'll be honest with you there. I am for au naturel. Each one of these books has usually like a 30 to 40 page booklet included with it. You can't go wrong with that. This is the first one, and as you can see, there's my number. I love the fact that these are all numbered. I love the indicator releases. And I would like to know some of your favorite indicator releases, maybe single releases as well. Now, this is the second indicator release. Let's put it. What do I think the creepy don't take self-restraint? Actually, that's really good. Is it not? Yeah, I know. He's got a Donald Pleasant style look to him. It's a really good film. I mean, it's not like it's definitely like it's a heady topic, and but it's one that should be done. So what do we got here? We've got The Snorkel. Now, it was extremely creepy. Now, The Snorkel is one that when I was young, my dad would talk about this movie all the time. He would say, "There's this movie, and it's never, and I've never seen it on DVD or back then. No, there was no DVD. I said I've never seen it on VHS. He said, there's this guy, and he was like dressed up as a snorkel to kill people with a snorkel. It was this one I think is on Mike Carreras, right? Mike Carreras, yeah, produced by Mike Carreras, directed by Guy Green. Their suspense stuff, their action stuff is really underrated. Never Take Sweets from a Stranger is the one that you're talking about. Great film. Dark film. Like, really goes into some dark topics. But so does Maniac. Like, if you watch the first Maniac, well, the start of the beginning of the original Maniac, that's really dark. I mean, like, what happens at the beginning of Maniac, yeah, I don't know if you've seen Maniac, there's this girl and she's walking home, and there's this extremely creepy guy kind of like watching her from his truck type of thing, and he pulls her into the bushes. We don't see what happens, but we kind of know, it's implied what happens to the character. Oh, thanks, Christian. Welcome. Hey, you are now an official member of the movie club. And say hi to Christian, guys. Because next up is The Full Treatment. I don't think I've watched this one yet since I got it. This is one of the ones that I haven't gotten through yet. This is under another name too, isn't it? Stop Me Before I Kill. Okay, there we go. Like, I've watched a couple features on like the Hammer Women things, but I haven't seen like every one of these films. I'm hoping in the next month or so, maybe I'll get the chance to watch a bit more. Oh, welcome from the UK. Oh, right on. You came the perfect time because it's a UK one. I need to watch all these releases up so far. I haven't been like say hi to all the new guys there, guys. I have not been disappointed with any of these films at all. Every one of these have been good, especially this one right here. Peter Cushing, Andre Morel, Cash on Demand. 110%. Check this out. This is a really, really good film. And I love the way they're doing these. Apparently, from what I've heard, there's 2 more Hammer sets that are going to be coming out in the near future. That's your fave? You chose well. And of course, I actually love this release. See, Scotter's got the right idea. And that is the third Hammer release. which I guess can be kind of problematic for some. Like, remember that at the time that it was done, I actually find these films to be very entertaining. The first one I watched on this set was Terror of the Tongs, which I loved, by the way. It's got... Some people complained that, you know, that the lead was a bit stiff. I thought that he was actually really good. This is a kind of an action movie. Have you ever seen those old, like, kind of like Boys' Tales books? I love Indicator. I need to get more Indicator in my life. Hopefully the videos haven't been too bad to watch. Some of my early stuff is a little bit. Vinegar Syndrome really hasn't done any box sets yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they go with that. Well, thanks for coming in, Kubrick Lover, and I'm always interested in hearing like all the people you've met and stuff that you've done. Hopefully you're keeping up the screenwriting. $79 Indicator titles. That's awesome, dude. This, of course, is The Stranglers of Bombay. These are very similar style of films. Celluloid, you have to change that. You have to get some Indicator in your life. Look at these. Celluloid. They are region-free. So, Stranglers of Bombay and Terror of the Tongs can be watched almost like a double feature. They're very similar, share a lot of the same actors. They still have the kind of like the boys' adventure aspect of it, too, as well. 11 Days. I don't think I have, actually, Jeb. I don't think I've seen that. Eureka titles. I can show you my Eureka titles afterwards. You want to see those? Once we get through this one here. Yesterday's Enemy. Their box sets are so good, though. And the thing is, if you start getting the Indicator box sets now, there's not too many of them out so that you're not like, oh my God, I got to get all these. If you started to buy, if you didn't buy a Vestron title now and you wanted to buy them, right? You got like, what, 20 titles to buy. If you started to buy MVD Rewind tomorrow, you got 18 titles to buy. If you started buying the Indicator box sets right now, which gets you 3 to 4 movies per box set, you really don't have a lot of box sets to buy to actually get a complete, the completion. And it's such a wide gamut of stuff too. They did do a couple sales. Unfortunately, I missed out on them. But they've had a couple, one like 50% sales and stuff like that. Yeah, the Sinbad box set, I think, is the only one that's out of print right now. Isn't that the Demon out of print? Camp on Blood Island. They do like Tarzan? I would love to see Tarzan stuff. Like I know that Warren Archives did some stuff. Yeah, you never know. They did. That's all that we've seen them do. Like they're very, they really are like, don't do a lot of sales, but you got to jump on them when they do, and because they're like the first anniversary sale. I think it was like a 50% off or something like that. I have a couple more here to show you guys. Now, Brian, I'm not sure if Brian's still here. If he's still here, Brian actually convinced me to get these because, as I said early on, I did a video that I was disappointed with the William Castle set, the first one that was coming out, and the reason being that I wanted them to put some gimmicks into the box set itself, because William Castle was kind of a king of the whole gimmick thing. He did like a lot of. I grew up like where I got to go to a theater like that did all the William Castle ones. I didn't check out the Arrow video. There's around 3 pages of it. I was like, not this time around. I know it's like a little too early. I got my Bay Street stuff. Yeah, you got to look to see which ones are region locked. I don't think there's many that are region locked, are there? But hey, John. Italian film genre. They haven't released anything like really Italian film genre that I can think about right yet, but just give them time. Yeah, at least the glasses for the 13 Ghosts. I was very disappointed in that. Now, I did listen to like Brian and Steph talking about the William Castle box set, and they sold me. on the box set. And I'm glad they did, because even without the extra gimmicks, bells and whistles, there's a ton of stuff on here. And just great stuff. Like, I recommended Heathers to somebody because it is like a fantastic 80s film. At the end of the day, the thing is, I got 3D glasses here, so it's not hard for me to make a ghost viewer. So I can probably do that. And I actually might do that, actually, because I got a few pairs of 3D glasses right here somewhere. So this is the Tingler. This is a fantastic one from Vincent Price. And if you haven't seen this one, it's a really fun movie. The theater that I sat in was kind of a retro theater that they had the gimmicks. So there was like certain seats that were like were buzz. I guess they would buzz, like had a buzzer on them. Percepto, the newest and most startling gimmick of all. I got most of these here from Amazon UK. I think a couple of them came from the Indicator website themselves. I heard that their packaging's really good. I haven't gotten it to the point where, like, some people got it and they got like Indicator bags or something like that. So I haven't gotten any of those. Now, that being said, every one of my the comments chair bus. Wouldn't that be awesome though? And every one of these, like, just like all the other releases, are going to have like huge booklets of information, features, like everything from, we got audio commentaries on here, interviews. One of these here actually has as a full-length feature documentary on William Castle, which is amazing. I'd really recommend checking that out. It's a great documentary. Next up is, of course, the one that caused all the controversy, especially on my channel. That is the 13 Ghosts. It would be a nice treat if Indicator went out and put like a free ghost viewer like down the road or something like that. Kind of like, you know, you can always do it. As you can see, like, there's a preview, like kind of like an ad for the free ghost viewer. So that's kind of like, that's like kicking you when you're down. Like, I hope they have the free ghost viewer. See, I bought this movie several times on DVD, and I could never get like a new copy of it. And because apparently in the new copies there was a ghost viewer, right? You could buy a ghost, you could get it, and the ghost viewer was inside of the old, the old DVD edition of it. I've never been able to find it. If anybody ever watches my channel and they've got an extra ghost viewer that they want to send my way, it would go to a good home. that I can tell you. I love the cover here though, 13 Ghosts. Of course, this was remade. Next up is a really cool one, and with a fright break. Gotta love that. A special fright break. And that is Homicidal. So if you've never seen this movie, I'm not going to give away the ending or anything like that. Yeah, they did. See the DVD, and I got a DVD over there for 13 Ghosts. It doesn't have it, unfortunately. Excuse me. So my wish list titles. Tell you what, at the end of this one, when I show my box sets finished, when I finish that, I'll give you my wish list when it comes to. Oh, Action Jackman. I'll see you next time, man. I'll give my wish list for Indicator. It's pretty high. There's Mr. Sardonicus. This movie creeped me out. Charlie Vera. Yes, that is on the wish list. As is Hardcore. Hardcore is another on my wish list as well. Blue Collar, Experiment in Terror. I think they did Experiment in Terror. Pretty sure they did. There's a few. They did some great stuff. And last but not least is the Volume 2. The weird face creeped me out. That's the thing. It freaked me right out. This is Volume 2 of William Castle's set. Wasn't sure I was gonna really love this one. Stephanie actually talked about Zots and made me want to watch Zots, which at the time was kind of like the one I was least. Yeah, you mean the Mr. Sardonicus? You mean the punishment pole? Yeah, he was clever that way. He knew everybody was going to want Mr. Sardonicus punished, so he didn't ever bother to film an ending where he got away. Tom Poston. This is almost like a William Castle / Tom Poston box set. He's done a couple of these movies, actually. "13 Frightened Girls" with you, Marlowe. I don't remember this one at all, so this is going to be a new watch for me. I think I might have seen that. I don't remember. Charlie Varick was an amazing film, but I haven't seen it in years. Another Tom Poston film with the old dark house. Aren't these like covers just amazing? Just look at the artwork that's done for this stuff here. Isn't it incredible? And last but not least, one of my favorites. I'm a huge Joan Crawford fan. Somebody got to release that, or American Horror Project 2. Oh, definitely. Go into the first one first with the of course, volume 1, 2 first, and then you find yourself liking them, go and get the second one. The first one's more horror oriented than the second one is. Blue Collar and Last Detail are on my wish list. Both fantastic films. Let me just open up the indicator here. Because I want to see. So, indicator, otherwise known as Powerhouse Films. Latest releases are, well, they're coming out with like. Oh, really? Region B? That must be one of the few ones that are Region B. So the new ones that are coming out soon are Lilith with Warren Beatty and Gene Seberg, The Reckless Moment, The Snake Pit with Olivia de Havilland, and of course the Dragon Wick with Vincent Price and Gene Tierney. Actually, I don't have that box set for the last movie. That one's on my birthday wish list. I got to tell my better half, actually. I would say if you get one, I'm a completist scholar, so I can't have one without the other. That's just me. Straight Jacket is a movie that I think is fantastic, so I had to have it for that. And I think I haven't seen 13 Frightened Girls, so that's kind of interesting to check that one out. The Old Dark House is kind of a comedic one, so I'll check that one as well. Either way, the features are great in there. So, okay. Recent M's got you excited. So, last movie. The two sets I don't have, you probably noticed for people that have them, are the ones that are on like heavy on my my birthday wish list. is the Bud Boddicker set, which I really want, and the Samuel Fuller set, yeah, and both those, those are two that are on my that are high on my wish list of movies that I need to get. Oh, Serialized Shot. Talk to you later, man. It's great having you in here. It's just an earlier video for me. I apologize if this video is kind of like knocked people off guard. So here are some that I do want to check out that are on my wish list. So Psyche 59 with Samantha Eggar. Usually anything Samantha Eggar, I'm down with. The last movie, that's 100% on it. Hey there. Breakout with Bronson, of course. Definitely on Berserk, high on the list. Age of Consent. I love Age of Consent. That's a very young and gorgeous Helen Mirren, and if you've never seen it, Charlie Bubbles, especially now with Finney passed on, it's a nice time to revisit that film. There's a lot of good stuff here. The Wrong Box has a great cast. So John Mills, Ralph Richardson, Michael Caine, Peter Cook, Dudley Moore. They work together a lot. Tony Hancock, Peter Sellers. Absolution will be in the mind of Mr. Soames. The Collector for sure. Like that's definitely high on my list. Hey, don't you just love that Sartana box set? I've had like a few people like say thank you for mentioning the Sartana box set because I picked it up and I love it, and I'm glad about that. I got the Ministry of Fear. I don't know if I need to upgrade that one. I got like a Criterion to that. Though things like Footsteps in the Fog with Stuart. Oops, sorry guys, I have my glasses off. I didn't mention Stone Killer yet, but that's on my list of ones that I want. Footsteps in the Fog. Of course, the Samuel Fuller at Columbia and the 5 Tall Tales box sets. Little Murders I like to have, actually. Collectors, yeah, I love Terrence Stamp. I wish, Kristen, I do apologize. As of right now, I don't have like a set schedule. The best thing that I can say is hit the bell on there to notify when my videos are coming up. I'm trying to work out like an actual set schedule. Once I get that done, then I will let everybody know. I did say I used to do one like every Saturday, and that was kind of like my go-to because at the time that was my day off. My days off have gotten maybe more days off, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And there we go. Sunday Last Summer with Elizabeth Taylor. The Border, I highly recommend The Border. Jack Nicholson's fantastic in this film. Blue Collar, 100% for sure. Charlie Varick, the limited edition, is sold out, which kind of bums me because I really, really, really wanted Charlie Varick. And I wanted the limited edition, I wanted the booklet. So yeah, Indicator normally does actually. Like, not to rag or anything on Twilight Time, but that you normally see that Indicator does better releases of those films. See No Evil, which somebody mentioned here, the Mia Farrow one, I definitely want to get that. Brando and the Gumshoe, actually I really want that one as well. That's a big, I got a big want list from The Eyes of Laura Mars, of course. The Stone Killer, which somebody just mentioned here. I had the novelization of that when I was a kid. I used to read it over and over again. Housekeeping I actually really liked. Fragment of Fear. I don't know what the release of Wolf is like, but I got to check that out. The Big Heat, actually the limited edition Big Heat, somebody asked about it, that's still available. And of course, Last Detail, Hardcore. Fat City is one of them, actually. Experiment in Terror, yeah, they did put it out. And maybe Ghost of Mars, because, you know. Later from Shanghai, oh my God. 10 Wellington Place, if you ever re-release that one, I'd definitely grab that one as well. There's a lot. There's a lot of Vindicator stuff that's out there to choose from. And they all come with booklets. And if you want to see a company that comes with some great stuff, there's another one right there. This is Eureka Cinema. This is the... I think The Chase is a fun one. It's been years since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it. Effects of gamma rays on men on the moon. Don't have many indicators. I got mostly box sets, PMAC, but I got a couple regular releases. Eureka, now, if you guys got a couple minutes, I've only got a couple Eureka, I can show you those. What? I don't even have the... I've got a freakily weird grasp with my hands. Bunny Lake is missing. Actually, that's on my list. So I got only one Eureka DVD. The rest are all Blu-rays. So I'll show you the DVD first. Get that one out of the way. Picture on Gonjaness is really good. Actually, it's a really, really good release. I love the cover for this one. This is a John Ford film, and I do like this. The Prisoner of Shark Island. We actually got this one in an eBay lot with a few other films. This is one of their Masters of Cinema collection. As always, when you open up their stuff, there's a great booklet. You know, so Indicator kind of followed in the footsteps of Eureka when it came to doing these, you know, these incredible booklets. You'll see, like, you know, very, you know, some similarities in the way that the booklets and stuff are done. Doesn't take away from either company. They both do amazing stuff. I gotta get this here. So, first up is For All Mankind, which was a really, really good documentary. If you haven't checked this one out, BFI's. I'll do BFI another time, but they're right next to the Eureka, literally. This is a great documentary. The Deep End, Javid, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, The Deep End is one of those movies that I recommend to people on a daily basis. It's one of my favorites. And BFI did a great release of that. Next up is another actual documentary, because I love documentaries, and that's Soul Power. Definitely recommend checking this one out. Also grab the classic old Cecil B. DeMille Cleopatra. I love these covers, and I love how colorful Eureka is when you put them in your collection. Here's one I recommend. 100% recommend this film. It's a great movie. It's a Sacha Guitry film, and that is Le Poison. If you have never seen Le Poison, you owe it yourself to check this out. It's a dark comedy. It's really funny. Just really well done. I'm glad you liked it. You really never know where that movie's going. And that's kind of one of the things that I liked about it. It just went in a complete 180 direction than what I expected. This is a fun one. When people think of Henry George Clouzot, a lot of time they think of like really dark, kind of like nail-biting suspense. But especially when you think about stuff like Diabolique and films like that. But look at this here. The Murder Lives at 21 is a more of a lighthearted Clouzot film. You wouldn't think it would be like The Murder Lives at 21, but it is. It's very much like very tongue-in-cheek in the way that it's done, and kind of along the ways of screwball comedy, if you wanna put it that way. Next up, I'm a huge fan of Claude Chabrol. Oh, this is not giallo. This is more, if you know those kind of the more comical, like Hitchcockian style films. It's kind of like that. Oh, I definitely wasn't disappointed. You steered me right that time, Brian. You haven't steered me wrong yet, dude. That's 70 Master Cinema, one box set. I got one box set. I'll share that one afterwards, too. And this is Le Beau Serge. Claude Chabrol. Huge Claude Chabrol fan here. If you've not checked out his films, I do recommend it. I got a couple of them here. Les Cousins. The Cousins. There we go. As you can see, they have the same actors in them. Of course, the classic Wings. First film to win an Oscar, right? Oscars, something I'm not going to be watching this year because they took out some of the categories that you know pretty much made them. Yeah, they made a big mistake with that one. If with Malcolm McDowell, great film. If you want to watch the original, like a version of this film, like to see the genesis of where this came from, then there is a box set that you should pick up. And where's it at, right? Okay, see if I can. The Jean Vigo. Get the Jean Vigo box set. Cul-de-sac? That's the one with Donald Pleasance, right? It's been a long time, dude. It's one I keep going to pick up, but I never do. This is a Fritz Lang one. I love this. This is Spies. Or Spion, whatever. And he's editing cinematography movies, of course, right? Gone John Hess. Fantastic film. If you've not checked, if you watched the horror noir documentary that came on Shudder recently, then they mentioned this movie here, Gone John Hess. Actually, a couple years ago, I did a review of this one with my better half. She was kind of off screen. I'm not sure if the release were actually. I highly recommend this film. It's not what you think. Did Eureka put it? I got the Private Life Sherlock Holmes. I think I got the Kino edition of that one. And of course, you know I'm going to have it because I love the movie, and I got it in Twilight Time. I got it in this one. Fright Night. For real. They did so far the best edition of this one. I will probably buy the Sony one, just get the kind of updated documentary. I have one other. Oh, really? That's all the ones I got, except for one more. I'll show you. Hopefully I don't fall on my ass here. And that is the World Cinema Project. So the World Cinema Project is done by Martin Scorsese. He is a huge fan of, world cinema. He's a fan of cinema across the world. He is a yearly goer and like kind of a big part of the Marrakesh Film Festival in Morocco. part of the reason for that is he loves Moroccan music, and one of the movies on here is from Morocco, and it's about a band, a Moroccan band, and that was part of the genesis of the whole World Cinema Project in the first place. So this one has again a huge one of those huge booklets. Hey Tom. Frightened with McDowell. Just great stuff. I mean, like, they do some amazing things. The writing on this is incredible. The three films that are done here, we've got the Dry Summer, which was a 1964 film from Turkey. The one that I got for my better half, the leather steelbooks, was Trances, and this is from Morocco, done in 1981. It's a documentary about an extremely popular Moroccan band. They got kind of like a fusion type of style of music, very, very different, very cool. It kind of got me into their music. I didn't know a lot about them before. My better half had seen this like several times. Of course, she's Moroccan. And the last one in the set. Now, Criterion put out like a set with like all 6 movies in there, and Eureka broke it up. And I just wanted to kind of get a taste of the world cinema, and Eureka just had a better looking box set, to be honest with you. I will be picking up Manuel in America. I do like that movie. It is a different film. I do have to like put it out there that it's not something for everybody. Look it up before you buy it. There's a couple reasons for that, which I am not going to get into, but if you mention Emmanuel in America, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's that scene, that infamous scene, right? We all know that infamous scene if you've ever seen Emmanuel in America. But I don't want to mention it live on my channel because kids watch. And this, of course, is Revenge, and this is a Kazakhstan movie. Kazakhstan. The Scene with the Horse. Yep, that's the one. There's a controversial scene in the film. I don't want to get into it on my channel. I'd say Google it. Just don't do it on a work computer. We'll just say it's a romantic scene. But aside from that, I do like the Emmanuel films, especially I do like the original Emmanuel films with Sylvia Crystal, the trilogy. But I do like the ones with Lord Gemser. I do like kind of the idea of Emmanuel being this like a kind of a reporter. So probably really, it reminds me of like her I like the fact of like because it makes sense that she's not just randomly traveling around. No, I actually did not know that. But I do. But I like the fact that she's an actual reporter, and it gives her a reason to go investigating like cannibals or other or going into asylums and stuff like that. It's kind of a cool thing. I thought that should have been if when they did more modern day Emmanuel films. Like I know that Krista Allen did the Emmanuel in Space stuff, but they did like just some regular stuff. That the best way, if they were to reboot like Emmanuel now, or if they wanted to make like straight to video films or something like that, I do think that having her as like the intrepid reporter would be kind of like the best way to go with the character, in my opinion. No matter if it was the Sylvia Crystal style Emmanuel or the Lord Gemser style one, the reporter idea seems like a good idea. Okay, yes. Yeah. So, did you like the stuff on Tino Brass? I'm a huge Tino Brass fan. I do think that Tino Brass is one of those directors that is extremely underrated. And if you haven't checked out his stuff, I highly recommend it. All Ladies Do It, Cheeky, both of those stand out as being like really, really quality films that he did. Those were two that I recommend. Like right off the bat, Tino Brass. You want to get stuff Tino Brass. All Ladies Do It and Cheeky. Those two, they have a similar style, but they're extremely well done. The key, yeah, the key is a good one. Did you like the key? Some people find the key a little bit slow, and the key has some bigger actors in, like Frank Finlay. Where people were surprised that with that, but people forget that Tino Brass, before the time of Caligula, Tino Brass was thought of as being like a very artistic filmmaker. Yeah, a lot of people do jab it. He was an art filmmaker. It was only years later. It was after, basically. But it's fun, silly. The Suckling is going to be fun. They're going to put great features on there. It's going to be the best way you've ever seen Suckling ever. I'll check it 11 Days, 11 Nights, I promise. And you got to watch it. Dominique is the one that I know most from the Vinegar Syndrome lot this time around. Because when I remember like getting VHS and it would have that trailer. Dominique is dead. Or is she? Suckling might be your first Vinegar Syndrome. Have you not picked up the Incubus? I talked about the Incubus, and it's really good. I would recommend, like, out of the two of them, I would recommend the Vinegar Syndrome edition. I think you will get the better quality release. 88 Films does some great stuff here if you're in the UK. And you can't pick up the other one. But I would grab the Vinegar Syndrome edition. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Incubus rules. Incubus is probably one of the best releases that they put out last year. So if you're going to pre-order the Suckling, I do recommend, if you got the extra bones, pick up Incubus. You'll thank me for it. I promise you will. It is that good of a film. And the features on it are really good as well. I'm actually, tonight, going to watch another Vinegar Syndrome release. I watched one the other night that I told you about. I'm watching another one. Yeah, Incubus, definitely. I mean, trust me, it's a really good film. John Cassavetes is amazing in it. I think John Ireland's in that one as well. My favorite Vinegar Syndrome release, it's really hard to say. Incubus is definitely in the tops of those releases. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's go crazy. All right. So let's go over my Vinegar Syndomes. So as you guys can see, a lot of VS stuff there. Stuff that I can say right away. So The Undertaker is a great release. Sweet Sugar, if you get a chance, if you like women in prison films, that's definitely one to grab. This is one of their top releases right there. Incubus. Prey for sure. I love Prey. I don't have Bloodhook. I really want Bloodhook, man. Blood Harvest is really good too. Psycho Cop Returns. People underrate that one. Actually really good. Actually it did. Yes, AGFA were originally going to be releasing Fleshpot. That's an Andy Milligan film. However, Vinegar Syndrome got I think they got the better edition and the rights to release the film. AGFA said that they were pleased that people were going to get the definitive edition of Fleshpot. They weren't going to be able to do it, but they're really glad that Vinegar Syndrome was going to be able to do it. AGFA and Vinegar Syndrome are a very friendly company. This wasn't a time of one sniping the other. It was getting the best release possible, and it's good that AGFA works with Vinegar Syndrome and Vinegar Syndrome works with them to make sure that happens. Do I have which one? I'm sorry, I read it there, and then it just popped out of my head. Pets, I definitely recommend. My Chauffeur. This is a great film. Deborah Foreman, you will fall in love with Deborah Foreman in this film. She's amazing. Jack Frost, Demon Wind, yeah, for sure. For the regular stuff, I like, I would say Powerhouse on Highway 5. Are any of these region free? Okay. See this one right here, Powerhouse on Highway 5? This one is region free. If you got a specific one that I got in my collection that you want to know about, I'll check it if it's region free. The 5 years, 5 films releases, I think, are actually really fun releases. As everybody that's been watching my channel at all knows, there's one movie, The Vinegar Syndrome, that just haunted me, and I got to find it here. Am I going to find it? A Woman's Torment. This is an adult film, but it is a really good film. It's got a soft-core version of the film on there if you don't want to watch the adult one. Actually, Pets, I think, is region-free. Let's find out here. All right. Yep, you guys have lucked out. Pets, which is actually really good, is region-free. Pets is a very different film. It's a film that's very rooted in its 70s, in its 70s style. Yeah, Scotty, you're right. Most of Vinegar Syndrome stuff are region-free. The very first Vinegar Syndrome movie that I ever picked up is right here. Night Train to Terror. I picked it up when I was in Ottawa, going to the Ottawa Comic-Con. Did you like A Woman's Torment? I thought that was an amazingly well-done film. And the actress was hypnotically good. It's so weird when you look at behind the scenes and realize that she walked out of the film and just disappeared from the set, and they had to use like the director basically to do other scenes. Raw Force is a very fun one. I recommend that one. Christmas Evil, because I love Christmas horror films. Ice Cream Man. But there's a few more things like Dolomite. Nightmare Weekend, which is super, super crazy. Deadly Daphne's Revenge, is that one region free? I think so, though it's not one of the ones I'd grab right away. If you're newer to Vinegar Syndrome, this is not one that I'd say pick up immediately. It's a slow-moving film. It's not a rape revenge film like it makes it look to be. It's not. It's right there. It's a bit on the disturbing side, but it goes weird. Deadly Daphne's Revenge is one that I'll put this back after. Deadly Daphne's Revenge is one of those basically. Free Vinegar Syndrome release Incubus is a one that I would start with for sure. I do like A Woman's Torment, so that's one that I do recommend. If you don't mind one that have some adult content in it, then I do recommend that film. I do think that there's fun stuff like Demon Wind, for instance, that I think you'll have a lot of fun with. When it comes to actual really good films, Double Exposure is awesome. I don't have it, but I watched it at my dad's. It is a great film. It's a great pickup. Pets is personal for me, Javed. I like pets, but I have a biased glasses when it comes to pets, because it's a movie that's part of my past, and I've always loved that film. Thank you. I did in case I end up talking about there's nothing out there later on. I've purposely not talked about some of the newer Vinegar Syndrome stuff that's come out, but yes, I concur. And Vinegar Syndrome is a company that I don't think you can go wrong with. They do some amazing stuff. Sometimes it's good to go in. Some people like to go in and they like to research and stuff like that. I find with Vinegar Syndrome, much like if you get your Criterion release you don't know, just go in blind. Yes, it's not going to hurt to go in blind when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome. You're going to find some great stuff. At the very least, you're going to have some stuff that's going to be amazing quality and some super fun, cheesy stuff. I'll grab Incubus. Demon Wind. If you like really batshit crazy movies that make no sense at all, become your favorite company, Jay. They're my favorite. Then I got to mention Nightmare Weekend, because if you haven't seen Nightmare Weekend, the picture, Javed, Vinegar Syndrome is the Criterion of Z-grade films. And I don't mean Z-grade as a bad thing. Vinegar Syndrome really does great transfers of their films. They do the best possible ones that they can do. like sexy women. Well, you're gonna get those in Vinegar Syndrome, for sure. They did do, because Vinegar Syndrome originally, they got known originally. A lot of people know them because they took adult films like Deep Throat and stuff like that, and they went and they gave them releases that were like Criterion level. You know, I mean, not Deep Throat, Taboo or something. But that style of film. But then they started doing horror, and they started doing some like the occasional horror title, and they did the drive-in classic collections, the double features, and it just got like they just put out some really, really great stuff. You can make it through Nightmare Week. It is really, really weird, Jesse. I had to get through it. I watched it like 3 or 4 times. Did they release any Italian sleaze films? I can't think of any. A lot of sleaze films, but Italian sleaze, not so much. But there are films there like that definitely have an Italian style flavor to them. There was like a Point of Terror, I think Blood Mania. They're not Italian, but they definitely have that style, that kind of feeling to them. And when I watched A Woman's Torment, I got like a kind of a Polanski feel to that. Not Italian, but still that style of a feel to the film itself. And I got a couple like their DVDs over there somewhere, but I can't remember where I got them put now. But yeah, they did like they do some stuff that's like DVD oriented too. The Mothers was a really fun, cheesy one. We go like when it comes to like their cheesy action stuff, Cirio Santiago. We're like, if we see his name, we just pick it up. Cirio Santiago, yeah, we're getting it. Because we know we're going to have a fun time watching it. Ice Cream Man is the one with Gianmarco Vincent. Now, Gianmarco Vincent, of course, is, he pretty much like walks through that role. Yeah, but Horror House on Highway 5 has more of a, it's got a better flow to it. I normally don't. I know a lot of people put plastic sleeves on their releases, to save like the slipcover and all that stuff. But I've never really, went into it. No, he doesn't care at all. Yeah, there's a lot of movies. Gianmarco Vincent's like, I'm getting my check. I'm walking through this film. But yeah, Horror House on Highway 5. If you haven't picked it up, that's a limited edition one, guys. It still surprises me that's still around. Hellbent is already sold out. So if you have the chance to get Horror House on Highway 5, I do recommend it. It's a crazy film. Everything about that film is batshit crazy, Jesse, but it is so cool. I mean, you got the guy with the Richard Nixon mask killing people, and George Clooney Batman. George Clooney had a reason in Batman, though. He probably looked at, he said, I look perfect for the Batman role. And then he looks at the script, he's like, damn it, why didn't I read the script first? And he was like, screw it. Yeah. George Clooney would have made a great Batman. He was just had a horrible script. So he was like, yeah, I'll walk through this. Anyway, guys, I am losing my voice. I am not even joking. Disconnected, I gotta check that one out. I don't have Disconnected, Jesse, actually. I wanted it, though. That's on my want list. I got a high Vinegar Syndrome want list. Dolly Dearest is a great idea for Vinegar Syndrome. I can picture that release, actually, with the slipcover and like... Oh. Connected is limited too. Yeah, there's a few limited releases. I'm surprised of some of the limited ones that are still out there. Tell you what, if I can do it later on tonight, maybe we'll talk about some BFI. We'll talk about more on Vinegar Syndrome, because you guys tend to like Vinegar Syndrome on this channel. And as Brian knows, I legit have become over the last couple years, and especially more recently, I've become Vinegar Syndrome guy. Literally, when you hear me talk, when you see me do a video on Vinegar Syndrome, I recommend, if you please would, just tweet the video and tag Vinegar Syndrome, just to let them know how much of a Vinegar Syndrome guy I have become. It's not a bad thing to be. I own it, Brian. I own it very well, and it's a company that I severely love. So I never have a bad thing to say about them. There we go, guys. My voice is almost shot. Thank you for watching today. I am Aaron. You guys are the movie club. And as always, you make it awesome. Not going to lie, never has it been more time for tea than right now. Have a great evening, guys. And maybe I'll see you later on tonight. If not, then we'll try and do a video tomorrow.